call the June 12, 2023 Warwick County School Board Corporation board meeting to order. I'd like to have everyone please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is to welcome for her first meeting with us, Dr. Abby Redmond as the superintendent. Thank you. We're happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to introduce Mr. Let's see if I can get him here. Aaron Allen is our substitute attorney for this evening, Cliff Whitehead. And so let's see here. Let's start out with our patrons concerned. I have Irene Fuller.
Hello, I'm Irene Fuller, and good evening. Welcome to Dr. Redmond.
Thank you.
The concern that I'm addressing tonight is the social studies curriculum currently being considered by the Warwick County School Corporation. Thank you, Dr. Redmond, for the opportunity to review briefly and comment on the textbooks. Thank you, School Board, for an opportunity to share thoughts. Communication is vital. May dialogue continue. During my limited observation of a few of the books, red flags were on so many pages. The small amount of material observed and skimmed was most concerning. The Marxism, communism, socialism playbook of brainwashing the youth came to mind. Nazi Germany used this ploy. Now it is in our American youth textbooks. How wrong. Masses of American citizens seem hypnotized into a state of mass destruction via the communist agenda. I wish I had some legal immigrants standing here with me tonight who have escaped the horrible oppression of the isms. And after they previewed these textbooks, they would have told you they were appalled. Freedoms they sought in the United States are now in jeopardy. I feel that they would ask you, do you not see how you are being used and manipulated? Of course, there are many areas of society contributing to this demise, but for tonight, and since I'll probably get 3 minutes, the social studies curriculum is all I will address. As a watchwoman...
30 seconds left.
No, please, let me finish. I have one paragraph.
Okay.
As a watchwoman on the wall, our American freedom is at stake. Listen to this serious warning. Do not be fooled. Our youth need to be protected from subversion and evil. Will the next generation and those after them have the same freedoms we've had, or will dictators prevail? The most effective way to destroy people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of history. George Orwell. Our children are worth fighting for. Our freedoms are worth fighting for. Do you really see what's going on? Are you thinking for yourself? Are you following the crowd? Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's all we have today here. So let's see here. my agenda out here. And we're going to have number 4, consideration of routine business. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Metzger. Agenda item A, approving the minutes of the school board meeting held on May 22nd, 2023, and approving the claims and signing the docket for June 12th, 2023. I recommend the board approve the routine items as presented.
So much 3 hands. I have a motion made by Jeff Baker, and a second by Tim Mosby. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, consideration of items for board action. A, consider approval of updated Warwick County School Corporation school opening plan for 2023 and 2024. Dr. Redmond.
As a condition of ESSER 3, school districts are required to review school opening plans no less than every 6 months. Any subsequent revisions of the 23-24 plan will be based upon updated guidance from the CDC, IDOH, WCHD, or executive orders from Governor Holcomb. As updated plans occur, they will be approved by the Warwick County School Board of School Trustees at a public meeting where public comment is welcome. Updated plans in our communications are always available for viewing. They are updated and still sitting under our COVID-19 tab. Please accept the recommendation to approve the ESSER 3 school plan as presented. I do simply want to point out this is a requirement. We've made 0 changes to the plan that we've brought to the board several times already. It is simply there in case we need to execute the plan in the future.
Okay. Do we have someone to make a motion on that?
I move to approve the plan.
Okay. Linda Glover made the motion to approve.
Second?
Jordan Eidner accepted. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Consideration of items for board action number B. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find a donation request from Newburgh Elementary School Principal Dr. Holly Arnold in the amount of $7,900 from the Newburgh PAT. The donation will be used for educational activities, programs, equipment, paintings, AR and literacy celebration activities, and classroom resources. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Do I hear a motion to approve that motion? Okay, motion is made by Mary France. Have a second. Second by Jeff Baker. All in favor? Signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. 5C, consider, let's see, Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find a donation request from Sharon Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Ashley Brugenschmidt. Sharon Elementary School PTO is donating a freestanding scoring table and 5 chairs for their gym. This donation has an estimated value of $4,865. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion has been made by Tim Mosby, Mr. Tim Mosby.
I second.
Linda Glover has a second. All in favor? First of all, is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, consideration of items for board action, D. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find another donation request from Castle High School Principal Mr. Jim Hood in the amount of $3,665 from Huck's Market. This donation will be used for teacher appreciation items. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Jeff Baker and seconded by Mr. Eric France. All in favor? Excuse me, I keep forgetting that discussion. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Motion carries. All right. Consideration of items for board action. E here, and
Yes.
Dr. Redmond.
Agenda item E. In your board packet, you will find 2 donation requests from Castle South Middle School Principal Mr. Greg Harris. The first donation is in the amount of $781.05 from the Castle South PTO for athletic equipment. The second donation is in the amount of $781.05 to be used for the Castle South Band Program. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Your motion? Approve the request. Mr. Eric Francis, do I have a second? Mr. Jeff Baker, second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. First of all, was there any discussion for you? I won't work backwards. Okay. Motion carried. Okay, consideration of items for board action. F. Mrs. Redmond.
Thank you. In your board packet, you will find a request from the Director of Student Services, Dr. Walter Lambert, to review and sign the Memorandum of Understanding between Evansville Christian Life Center and Castle High School for the Truth Talks program for the 23-24 school year. This MOU outlines the specifics of the program regarding dating violence and has been viewed by the Warwick County School Corporation Attorney, Mr. Cliff Whitehead. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
I move to approve the memorandum of understanding.
Lindy Glover approves the
Second.
motion. Second by Mr. Jeff Baker. Is there any discussion on that? If not, if you're, I've lost my mind, just for my train of thought for just a minute. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Okay, consideration of items of board action. G. Dr. Redmond.
In your board packet is a copy of the Electric Distribution Line Easement Form 162C. This easement agreement allows CenterPoint Energy Indiana South to bring electricity to the Warwick Pathways and Career Center building. I recommend the board approve this line easement for WPCC from CenterPoint Energy.
It is.
You have a motion? Mr. Eric Francis made the motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gardner made the second. All in favor?
A quick discussion?
Yes.
I assume it's been reviewed by attorney or Todd Armstrong.
Yes.
Actually,
It was,
three. It's
Oh.
been reviewed by me, and then it was sent to our attorney, who had to forward it to another attorney because of conflict. And so then it was sent back to me, reviewed again. I contacted CenterPoint. We made one change to the original to keep everything underground.
Good.
Everything to be allowed to be on the ground on top, and that's what you got presented to you tonight.
Good enough, thank you.
Are they gonna have it run back there before August 8th?
They're ready to go.
Oh, okay, good.
I've been waiting on this to be approved, so they can get to work.
that's an important part.
That's an
It
important.
is,
The
yeah.
building, yes.
It's hard to run a school without electricity.
And
Yes.
in the past, if we're going to have the questions in the back, they probably need to come so that people who's watching on YouTube can hear the answers.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong.
All righty. Now, are there any more discussions? Call for a vote.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, consideration of items for board action. That would be H. Mrs. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find a 3-year minimum use contract for electric service. In conjunction with the line easement, the board will need to act on the minimum use contract between CenterPoint Energy Indiana South and Warwick County School Corporation. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's made by Mr. Tim Mosby,
Second?
second by Mr. Jordan Eigner. Again, is there any discussion?
Yeah? Mr. Armstrong? Would you mind approaching the podium so the public can hear what you've got to say? Has all this been reviewed by the
Yeah.
people that need to review it?
Yes, it's typical for them. They're going to foot the cost of actually getting the transformer on site and getting the power into our building. The minimum 3-year use agreement guarantees that we spend at least enough money to cover that cost over the next 3 years. If by chance we were using electricity that was less than that amount, we'd have to pay to equal that amount. But
Right.
based upon the 4,000 amps we got coming into that building, I'm pretty sure we're going to meet the minimum use sooner than 3 years.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any more discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A consideration of items for board action. Aye, Mrs. Redmond.
In your board packet, you will find a request from the Department of Learning to approve high school social studies textbooks for the 23-24 school year. These textbooks were extensively reviewed and voted on by a combined teacher, department chair, and administrator vote. The high school teachers, in fact, came to consensus with the materials based on each of the respective content areas. Parents also had an opportunity to review the materials, and we appreciate the time that our parents and our community members took to come in and provide input. The recommended materials align with the Indiana Academic State Standards, will provide teachers with some tools to address the standards, and will provide digital and hands-on opportunities to enhance student learning. I recommend the board approve this request as presented.
You have a motion, or first of all, someone make a motion on that?
Oh,
I make a motion.
Linda Glover made the motion, Jeff Baker seconded. And is there any discussion?
yes, I mean, she brought to our attention her concern, but we're just following the state academic guidelines that we're supposed to follow, correct?
Yes, our teachers use the Indiana Academic State Standards, so that is their guide.
Right.
And then we make every effort to vet curriculum and resources that help our teachers meet those standards. We absolutely are never in a situation where teachers use an entire book. If you've seen some of those social studies textbooks, they're quite thick. So they use the pieces that help them meet the academic standards with the students. So yes, to answer your question, in a nutshell, we teach the standards.
I'm encouraged that you had community, review and input and parent input. So I just want to make sure we continue to do that,
Yes, and just, since you brought that up, that has actually always been part of our process in
I
Warren
figured, yeah.
County. And so we just did that recently also with our elementary math curriculum. It's been a part of our process for many years, so we in fact plan to continue to do that as we move forward with future adoptions.
Okay.
Abby, was there anything in the textbook that was of concern that administration would say we might shy away from that?
We did not have any of those concerns raised during the vetting process, which was a several-week process, nor from the education professionals in terms of the social studies teachers who reviewed the materials.
Any other discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Going to number 6, consideration of personnel recommendations for Dr. Judd Gresham. But before we start, are you going to name some things in a long list rather than individually?
Yes.
Okay, does anyone want to go ahead and abstain before he starts? You said you were going to abstain.
Oh, on the support staff positions, I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Metzger. Human Resource Office has been very busy over the last 3 weeks, and we have the following business to bring before the board tonight. Consideration of employment, certified staff positions. Crystalyn Williams, Family and Consumer Science teacher at Castle High School. Sydney Sherry, first grade teacher at John H. Castle Elementary School. Jessica Borden, first grade teacher at Yankeetown Elementary. Tyler Mazarek, temporary first grade teacher at Elberfeld Elementary. Shelby McElwain, counselor at Castle South Middle. Josh Bold, social studies teacher and varsity girls basketball coach at Tecumseh High School.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, Mr. Baker made the motion to approve, and...
Mr. Mosby made the
Oh, Mr. Mosby, I'm sorry. I just looking down there, you both got your beards. Mr. Prince seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
In our support staff positions, we have the first 9 will be for John H. Castle Elementary School program assistants. They are Meredith Kirkpatrick, Shanda Zirkelbach, Emily Phelps, Abby Mitchell, Andrea White as an ENL program assistant, Paige Lehman, Elise Frederick, Kristen Bernick, and Rebecca Russell. We have Michaela Bunner as an APS program assistant at Chandler Elementary. For Castle South Middle School, we have Christina Dalton as a Colleen Schuler, Mary Peak, Tamara Thurman, Laura Hatfield, and Amy McBride, all as program assistants. Christina Bennett is an APS program assistant at Newburgh Elementary School, and she'll be joined by Amy Holderman and Vicki Montgomery as program assistants. Stephanie DuPont, a program assistant at Tennyson Elementary School. Charity Mahoney, 4.5-hour cafeteria position at Elberfeld Elementary School. We have 10 program assistants for Castle High School. They are Cole Woods, Michael Devine, Robert Holben, Christina Bond, Lauren Ward, Adela Booth, Catherine Williams, Angie Worstel, Erica Ingram, and Elizabeth Blackford. Joining the staff at Oakdale Elementary, we have 8 program assistants: Samantha Wing, Christina Carwile, Sarah Krupp, Valerie France, Melissa Schmidt, Keisha Seeger, Hannah Bierman, Kashmir Shigley. For Sharon Elementary School, we have Stephanie Barentine as an ABS program assistant, and Michelle Thomas, Katie Wynn, Aaron Davolt, Tanqua Sturgill as program assistants. Lindsay Van Fleet is a program assistant at Boonville Middle School, joined by Melissa McCann, Mary App, and Jennifer Luff. Jennifer Thomas is a program assistant at Elberfeld Elementary School. Allison Allen and Madison Godow, program assistants at Linville Elementary School. Brooke Nossett, a program assistant at Tecumseh Middle School. Kelly Fodge, a social emotional behavior assistant. 6 program assistants for Yankeetown Elementary. They are Tiffany Blair, Megan Harris, Jamie Rathgaber, Andrew Durgee, Kaylin Higgins, and Brooke Farron as an ABS program assistant. And then rounding out the lineup, we have Kaylin Page, Christy Vickery, Destiny Mays, Megan Davis, Bonnie Brown, and Dee Poston as program assistants at Logue Elementary.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Ms. Glover, move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Jeff Baker seconded. And is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item B, leave request, Paxton Brent, first grade teacher at Elberfeld Elementary, and Shannon Stottsgill, custodian at Castle High School.
I see a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Tim Mosby making motion. Mr. Eric France seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Agenda item C, report of early return, Amanda Knowles, custodian at Tecumseh High School, and Tim Doherty, Class C maintenance. Agenda item D, report of corrections, Kimberly Edson, 4.5-hour cafeteria employee at Castle High School, change of dates and leave of absence. And Emily Jones, program assistant at Sharon Elementary School for 23-24 school year, should have been reported at the May 22nd, 23 board meeting as Emily Holderfield. Agenda item E, resignations. Linda Reed, custodian at Elberfeld Elementary School, resignation effective July 28th, 2023. Jessica Witzel, school psychologist, resignation effective May 30th, 2023. Fowler Trey Walters, 3.5-hour cafeteria employee at Castle South Middle School, resignation effective May 24th, 2023. Mackenzie Hawkins, math teacher at Castle South Middle School, resignation effective June 2nd, 2023. Diana Shear, program assistant at Castle High School, resignation effective June 7th, 2023. Megan Graham, program assistant at Elberfeld Elementary School, resignation effective June 8th, 2023. And agenda item F, retirements, Lori Dormeyer, special education teacher at Logue Elementary School, retirement effective June 1st, 2023.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gresham, Dr. Gresham. I think you need to find more work to do. Goodness.
We do appreciate all of their hard work. It's a lot to manage and on board, and appreciate Dr. Gresham and his team.
Right. Right. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go into reports now. I think Dr. Redmond has some reports first.
Yes, I thought the board and our community might be interested in knowing about some of the summer programming that we have in place in Warwick County this year. So some people who have been in the district and have children in the district may be aware of one or two of the programs that we offer, but we have quite extensive opportunities for our students, and I just put together a few data points and some stats and things to share with you so that you can see how busy and what great opportunities our students have with us here in Warwick County in the summer. The first program I wanted to highlight is a partnership that we have with YMCA. They work with us and partner with us at Chandler Elementary and Oakdale Elementary for 20 days here in the month of June. In the morning, the students who attend are 1st through 5th graders, and it's a combined staff of Warwick County teachers and Y staff. In the mornings, they are focusing on academics, in particular literacy and making sure that we're caught up with reading skills and comprehension skills and a little bit of math work. And then in the afternoon, it's all enrichment programming. So they get to do all kinds of fun games and go on field trips and have quite a fun afternoon with enrichment at those two schools. So that's 1st through 5th grade, 20 days at Chandler and Oakdale. Additionally, at Chandler, we have a partnership with the United Way, and they match those same 20 days, and we have incoming kindergartners at Chandler who are able to go and attend 20 half-days in the same month of June, which is great for incoming kindergartners. Some of them haven't had preschool. Some of them just want that comfort level of being able to get used to the school and know how to go through the lunch line and all of those things. So those are two great programs that we have, and a huge thank you to the Y and to the United Way for helping us make
Abby,
those happen.
excuse me, are these just for Chandler students, or is this?
Chandler and Oakdale, it's just for their students, yes.
And they're coming to
That's
Chandler.
correct. And those two schools are chosen based on requirements of the Y and the United Way grant, and it's typically based on the free and reduced percentages of the schools. So that's how we identify. We have a third school kind of in the queue if funding ever becomes available. Moving to high school, we have our Apex Summer School. That's our online summer school courses. We have 6 teachers who are managing over 300 students who are taking a variety of summer school courses. And just so you're aware, most of these students who are taking courses are working ahead. We have a few who are doing some makeup work, but most of them are taking health or a U.S. history or a government and econ, those kinds of courses, so they can open up some time and have some for fun classes during their school year, or they're trying to achieve a diploma that maybe they can't fit in everything if they don't take something during the summer. So that's been, our summer school teachers have been busy monitoring all of those students. We also still offer driver's ed to 60 of our students. That's simply by birth date order. And we have 2 driver's ed teachers and 60 students who will be able to work through that over the course of June and July as well. And then I don't know if you remember, a few weeks back we had our ag teachers here. So we also have that type of programming happening with our high schools. We have our ag experiences. We have all of our band students who are working and preparing their shows. And of course we have our summer musical teachers working. That includes music, props, backstage work, all of those things. And that includes about 10 teachers and literally hundreds of students if you think about those 3 programs. Then that takes us to July. We've done July.
That was just June.
Yeah, well, that's June and the high school course, and
Yeah.
of course the ag experience and band and all of those things also spill into July. But in July, we have our 2-week Jump Start program that we hold at all of our elementary schools and our 3 middle schools. That is simply, what we call it a Jump Start because we think of that as getting the students primed and ready for the new school year. So we identify students and invite them, and that's typically around 500 students those 2 weeks among our elementary and middle schools. In conjunction with that, we also have a Kickstart Kindergarten at all 10 of our elementary schools. The purpose is the same as what I mentioned earlier with the United Way partnership and what we have going on right now at Chandler. But again, it's to get our kindergarten students learning routines, basically procedures, how to get through lines, how to be a student, how to be a kindergartner. We have 41 teachers in July for those 2 weeks helping serve our students. And again, that's over right at 500 students. And then we have one thing that's absolutely new to us this summer. We have, as you know, we received Title I funding, and we had some dollars that we were able to budget toward high dosage tutoring. So we were able to go to each of our 7 title schools and have them identify 10 students. Each of those 10 students will receive 20 hours of summer tutoring with a Warwick County teacher we started like the week after school got out, and they'll do that through the first week of August. So that's going to be a huge help to a lot of our families. It's free to our families, so no cost. And in fact, none of this summer programming is any cost to any of our families, which is great. And then just to kind of wrap this up, as you can see, we have a lot of great opportunities, but just to be clear on how extensive this is, and I really am saying this because I want to put a huge thank you out This is a huge team effort. Our Department of Learning, administrative assistant, Christina Zeller, is the one taking in all of the registrations, putting everything in spreadsheets, getting all of that organized. Our IT department's making sure we have, the computer access we need, Chromebooks, we have transportation, we have nurses and health aides on site, we have Shanae Rao and her department feeding our students breakfast and lunch. It's really quite a comprehensive program this summer, and it is truly a team effort. And so I just wanted to thank all of those people, maintenance, custodians, really anybody who is involved with the day-to-day during a normal school year is in some way, shape, or form involved during summer school programming. So that's what we have going on this summer. Yeah, lots of great things, And one other highlight, because Mrs. Metzger asked me about just our summer feeding program in general. So whether you attend any summer programming or not, we have summer feeding sites at Chandler and at Oakdale. Breakfast is from 8 until 9. Lunch is 11 to noon, and that is free and open to anyone 18 and under. So just wanted to make sure we highlighted that because Brenda had asked me that before the meeting.
And I believe the menu is on the website.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good. Okay, do we have any other reports or anybody else?
Were you able to open the message you received from Dave Schnur?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because Jane was not. I just want to make sure everybody got that, was able to answer that. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Also, we will have a Pathways and Construction meeting on June 26th at 7:30 a.m. at the Administration Building.
Anything else?
I've got one thing for the board. I have talked a little bit about this, just a little in passing in past construction committee meetings, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. But it is in regard to, on the northern part of our county, there's some mining going on. And Peabody's mining up there. And I occasionally get phone calls, other board members, I'm not sure if you do or not, but from the Tecumseh area. Some are residents and some are staff members. And in fact, I actually called Mr. Fisher, was here anyways, and talked to him about it. And just to kind of vet it a little bit. And he actually did say at that time, this has been probably 3 or 4 months ago, that some of the blasting seemed longer and more intense than he had really been accustomed to, I guess. So that was from someone in the building. Well, today I was there at a ball game. Boonville was having a little ball game up there against a couple teams, and I felt it, and my dad felt it, and Dad's been in mining for years, and so he felt that was a pretty rough one, he said. So I'm asking my fellow board members, I've been making phone calls and just kind of learning about, what's going on. I would like and I don't care how you handle it, but I would like if you would allow me to call DNR. I've called Peabody already. I work with them, and I just wanted them to know that, hey, it's kind of on our radar. I'm getting phone calls, and I want you to know I would always rather someone come straight to me, and is there something, oh yeah, there's a guy in learning or whatever, And so I made that phone call. I told them I would make sure you guys all knew it, but being there today and feeling it, if I was any other person in the building, I'd be wanting to say, hey, school board, what are you doing about this? Maybe it's acceptable, but I've got the number of the person at Jasonville, and they have third-party monitoring. They monitor it all the time, and I think we kind of owe it to our facilities to at least make that contact and pursue it, at least to say, hey, we're being proactive and it's being monitored. DNR says it's either in or out of compliance. You guys have any thoughts or questions about that?
Yes,
You
definitely.
and I have talked about that. And there's been structural issues at Tecumseh, vents falling out because of the blasting and things that actually affected a teacher. And we need to do that. I mean, they need to be held accountable.
They're not monitoring.
Maybe we need a letter from our attorney.
Well, I don't think I'd go there yet. So the DNR, they have active mining and abandoned mining. The DNR, that's their job. They check this. So Peabody is self-monitoring, and then DNR does their own monitoring, spot monitoring in different locations, okay? And the actual permitted area is about 1,600 feet away from the school. So not too far away, really. And I think they are getting closer. and it very well may be within tolerance, you know, sometimes a lower, longer rumble is better than a big shot, right? Because they alternate blasts, you know, and they do that on purpose. So, I would say a phone call, and then I would get them in contact with Dr. Redmond and just pass it off and say, hey, but I'm gonna tell you at this point, for me, for one board member, it's not enough to say, oh, yeah, we're in compliance. I really would want to request monitor our site. I don't know if that's gonna, my dad tells me that used to not cost anything to the complainer, right? And a school is a controlled, schools, hospitals, like, you know, civic structures are controlled structures. So probably if we get you in contact with them,
Absolutely.
they
I'd be
can go
happy
from
to-
there and then see what happens,
Yeah.
you know?
Just give all
But
the information.
I didn't want to do that without everybody
Yeah.
saying okay to make the phone
And
call.
Mr. Allen, do you think that's for the board to contact someone on the board or Dr. Redmond to contact them directly to begin with? I'll tell you what I've had done when I lived down the street from Active Mining and felt like I was being knocked out of my bed in the morning. It was rough. But they did come out and do an audit and check even the bathrooms, the tiles, any cracks in the walls. They can do a pre-audit, and then later on, if they
Yeah.
have a problem, they can come back and see there is a problem.
Yeah.
And so that's something that might need to look at there.
If you give me the information,
Yep.
happy to work
And that's
with you
what
on
this
that.
person at DNR, that's what they do. And I got the name from Peabody. He said, have them call, go ahead. You know, we don't want any issues. You know, he was very good. So nobody was being obstinate or anything. So I'll email that to you if everybody's okay with that.
Please do.
Okay.
Thank you, Jordan.
Good
Get her
deal.
done.
I believe that we're probably going to, it might need to be corrected, but I believe our personnel meeting is going to be after the board meeting on the 26th?
25th.
It'd be probably set up at 7:15 or 7:30 or right after the board meeting. So does anyone else have anything?
Policy and Curriculum Committee will next meet on July 10th, 5:30 PM here at Central Services.
And a shout out to the Tecumseh girls softball team,
Yeah.
which for the second year in a row has won a state championship. One boy, I believe 7 teams have ever done that in school, in state history.
Yeah, very wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We had several teams this past couple of weekends who were competing at either semi-state or state. A couple weekends ago, we had Castle Girls Tennis, and we had several individual athletes in track and field compete at state. And then, of course, our softball girls won again this weekend, and we had Castle Baseball semi-state this weekend. So we will get all of those student athletes invited to a board meeting for recognition. A lot of great things going on in the athletic world in Warwick County School Corporation. And I'll tell you, I was at the softball game, and it was just such a great feel. We have two small schools like that, and both schools brought huge crowds, and it was just it was great to be part of that. And the girls just played so well, and it was a proud moment for us. So
Yeah.
So
And I would just like to give a shout out. I know we do this every once in a while, but the PTOs, PTAs, other public donors, companies, they're so generous and help our schools in so many ways. Schools wouldn't be nearly where they are without all the donations and the volunteers that help in the schools and do the different things. So I just think it's great. That's why we have such good schools. One of the reasons because we have involved parents with that.
thank you, Brenda.
Does anyone else have anything else? Nothing else? Then we are adjourned.